Well, there you go, another very special little teaser from the incredible coin guru Michael Afshin. Michael and I were just out today actually filming some of his incredible work, and each week I'm going to try and share a little bit with you, and we're working on a really incredible project, as I mentioned a week ago, so that'll be out shortly. Right now, I was able to sit down yesterday with my good friend John Kaplan, and he was able to perform an incredible routine called Killer Cut. Now, John is a great guy. He's just returned from Las Vegas, from Magic Live, where he was a special guest. He presented one of his seminars on fundraising magic, and John is the king of fundraising magic. He's for many years he's toured Canada with fundraising projects, and he has books and he has DVDs out, I think, on how to get into the fundraising business, so how to make a living from fundraising, and John is certainly the king at that. And I've actually been part of his tour, one of his tours, fundraising tours, and it's been a lot of fun. So yesterday I sat down with John and he performed his signature piece, Killer Cut.
So you're in a coffee shop, someone finds out you're a magician, they want you to saw a lady in half. What do you do? Well, if you have Killer Cut, you can do this one pretty much anywhere. You need a lady, and that lady is going to be represented by this simple handkerchief. In fact, a lot like my regular assistant. Silky smooth and a red head. Besides the lady, we also need a cabinet, which will be represented by this sheet of newspaper. As you can see, there's nothing whatsoever in the newspaper. That's because it's the news of the world. The illusion begins as the lady enters the cabinet. And you will notice that because she is a rather lengthy lady, both her head and her feet protrude from the cabinet, proving that she is indeed inside. Now, it is sometimes speculated that in order to avoid being assailed by the saw, the lady needs to be a contortionist. And in this case, she is. Not as a means of preventing bisection, but rather as an aid to it. For you see, once doubled over, it becomes a simple matter to cut through both the cabinet and the lady contained within. Separating the sections of the cabinet proves beyond a doubt that she has indeed been cut into two pieces. How could she possibly survive this ordeal? Well, the only way, of course, would be if what you thought you saw happen never actually took place. That neither the cabinet nor the lady had been sawn in half at all. That the entire thing had been nothing more than merely an illusion. And that's Killer Cut.
Now, this week's review. This week's review is an interesting one. I've always been a little nervous of these sort of tricks. You know, the sort of Russian roulette trick with the spikes, and you put your hand through the paper bags and all this sort of thing. For years, I performed Scott Alexander's version with the rubber bottles, which I really liked. But I wanted something a little bit more dangerous, I guess. And so this week's review is The Pain Game by Jon Allen. Now, I first saw John perform this live a few weeks back at the Canadian Convention, and it was fantastic. It really was. I spoke to John. I know that he did it on Penn and Teller, and I believe it was a different version than what he marketed, which was interesting. I'm not sure it was the right thing to do, but you know, John did what he did. But so this is what you get, The Pain Game. It's absolutely fantastic. The reason I like this is because it looks really dangerous, but really there is absolutely there's no way you can hurt yourself. I won't expose how it works, of course, but just to show you what's involved. You get a great package. The packaging is excellent, and a great box. Now inside the box you have some of the nails that are in here, and I'll show you the nail here. These are really solid, and these are really great. They look fantastic. There's the nail right there, and sharp, of course. So you've got to watch out there. But the idea is that you take one of these blocks, push the nail through, and you could throw an apple on there or something that'll go through the apple, right through the apple, or pop a balloon. There's lots of different things you can do to prove that it's sharp. Of course, you can get somebody to feel it, and you can hand it to them. They can look at it, and it goes through. And it's the old Russian roulette. We have 4 paper bags. Each is placed over one of these objects, and you can be blindfolded, whatever you want. You're able to do each of the other paper bags. The one left, of course, is the one with the nail in it. As I said, this is a great version. It's completely safe, which is really good. The quality of props is absolutely fantastic, extremely well built. As I said, the best thing about this is that you cannot injure yourself, which of course is important. If you look on YouTube, you'll see a lot of those sort of versions where the spikes are going through their hand and everything's going wrong. Well, it can't go wrong with this unless you're absolutely bonkers, and don't know how to do it. But it is a great version. It's my favourite version. It's called The Pain Game. You get everything. John goes into detail on the DVD. The quality is superb. The equipment is fantastic. Everything's made. You get 4 blocks. Of course, each of the blocks is specially made. The nail is well, I won't give it away, but you get the nail, and I said everything is really well made. So it's a great item. If you like that sort of routine, then you can't go wrong. This is actually my favourite version, and the one I'm going to start performing in my act of this sort of Russian roulette style routine. So it's called The Pain Game by Jon Allen, and I highly recommend it. Next week's vlog might be a little late. A very good reason for that. It may or may not be late, I'm not sure yet. We won't know until next week, but definitely probably the week after. It'll be a different sort of vlog, and you'll find out why. It's very special news. So until then, have a great week, and I'll see you around.